Okay, so the plan was I was gonna do the Enigma solution today, which perhaps that's still interesting and will still happen at some point. Because I'm in my 30s, I go to bed at 9 o'clock, right? When I was 29, I stayed up till 2 a.m. every night. Turned 30, boom, instantly. Warm glass of milk at 8 o'clock, getting real sleepy by 8:45. And it was at 9:36 last night, Professor Jed Rembold reached out to me and said, "Hey, sorry for getting back to you a little late." Jed, of course, thinking that I still stay up till 2 a.m. every night. Can you cover some things for tomorrow? And sent me this message. So we're going to cover these 5 things today, and also I'm going to show you a little bit of a glimpse behind the curtain of sort of where your course materials come from, because usually I would prepare this stuff before class. It's not actually hugely different preparing it right in front of you. I often do this in upper division classes. Yeah. Yes, I can. Thank you. A+. No, I can't give pluses. Okay, all right. A. Yeah. So, anyways, I will show you a little bit of this. I know how some of these things are done, but not all of them, and I didn't prep them outside of class. So that's how life is going to be today. I'm going to use multi-cursor. So that was Alt-Shift-Click to begin all of these lines. I'm going to use a dash and indent, and then on the right-hand side of my screen, in VS Code, I can automatically style this file format, which is the Markdown format. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to show you where this preview comes from, so you know it. So you can create your own Markdown file. Hi, Markdown. You save this as a .md file. When you save it, you get this little button here that says Open Preview to the side, and it will style the Markdown. I think this line here is maybe where my cursor is or something, so you can sort of see where it is. You might even be able to edit it over here. I don't know. I've never tried. So this is what we're doing today. So we're doing the requests library. I'm going to use backticks to include things that are code. And we are going to begin with so that Octothorpe is a heading. I'm going to do a subheading installing the requests library. We have installed libraries previously in this class in a variety of ways. On the first or the very first days of class, I had you all install Pillow, which was necessary for PGL. Does that sound right? You maybe have blocked this out. And the conventional way people install packages for Python is by typing pip install and the name of the package somewhere in their command line. This is not really done anymore because it never really worked particularly well. So what I've been recommending you do instead is use a script. And I think that script is called install.py. Let's see if I can find this thing. So way back in the olden days, with First Carol, in order for First Carol to work, you had to install Pillow. And that was back when you were still scared of the command line. It's not like now. Now you're comfortable with the command line. It doesn't cause any anxiety for you at all. You love it. It's like one of your besties, like you go way back, right? But way back in the olden days, I provided this script for you that you can use to install something like requests. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to format it a little bit so you can see what you're looking at. I recommend the use of an install script. This is the example we used at the beginning of the term to install Pillow, which is how PGL makes images. I'm going to use 3 backticks and then the file extension of the type of code I'm going to create. I'm going to do a new line, copy paste the code, and you will see that inside those backticks I get syntax highlighting. And then I'm going to close the 3 backticks. It's going to show up like this over here. Now, that is ugly. So we'll adjust the lines a little bit and change pillow to requests. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to copy paste this and I'm going to edit it over a little bit. We're going to, you all are familiar with import, right? Because we've imported many things throughout this term. Your computer should already have sys and subprocess on them, and if it didn't, I don't know how you got pillow, because that's how we did it. There's a variety of things going on in here, and all of them are a little weird, so we'll put them on their own line. What is each of these? And do they work? So I have not exhaustively tested this sort of script here to make sure it works on everyone's computer. I bet I'm supposed to indent this. So I don't know if this will work for everyone, but there's some things we can do and there's some things we can check out. I'm going to pop open the terminal right now, which I know you love. I'm going to make it a little bigger. I'm going to start Python. I'm going to import sys, and then I'm going to print sys.executable. And this is going to tell me what this line does. Oh, and it's the name of my Python installation. Okay? So Python can refer to itself, and this is how it does it. Why might we do that? Well, if I take this Python installation, ooh, did that work? It almost worked. See. I bet this will work eventually. Oh, it's not working. That's sad. Anyways, you can probably run that somehow. I don't know how. Maybe you do a dot first. Oh well. Okay. So anyways, that's the name. That's where my Python lives. Maybe I can like cd. Where am I currently? I'm home Calvin. I just go up. Where's Python? There it is. I found it. We found Python. Good job. There it is. And then if I run Python directly there, I get the Python on my system. Okay. Temp requests. So this was where I was today. And so we can also test a few other things. So I can Python-m, and that is going to give me an error at first, but it is going to specify that I can use a module. One of the modules I can use, Python-m pip. Pip is the module that installs different programs on your computer. So here is a variety of ways to get different things on your computer. The most common thing to install is you Python-m. Oh, on Mac you would be typing Python 3, it doesn't matter. Pip install pandas, which is the big data science library, right? So that would be something, and you don't have to install that unless you want to. This is going to specify that you do it for users. This is not something I have to do, but that is likely to prevent errors from happening on Macintosh devices. I don't know if that actually works. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to take Python, we're going to run part of Python. The part of Python we're going to run is the package manager that installs libraries. We're going to install a library, we're going to install it for you as the user, and we're going to install requests. And so I can go ahead and take this and I can actually run this as a Python file. Let's see, how do I make a new file? New file. Text. No, I made a text file. I wanted to make a Python file. File. Control-Alt-Super-N? What do you think super is? Control-Alt-Shift-N? I don't know what super is. Okay.
Super is probably like the Windows key.
You think? Oh, I don't like that. Control. Wait, what is Control-Alt? Ah, I'm sad that worked, but thank you. Anyways, here is a Python file that will probably install requests. I'm going to save this file. as install.py, and then I'm going to run the file. Let's see what's going on here. I got in big trouble. Maybe it'll work for you.
Yeah, that's just a Linux with virtual environments.
I thought user would fix it. There we go. No problem. You might need to change user to break system packages. Now, would I ever tell you to do whatever breaking system packages is? No, absolutely not. I'm just going to update the instructions a little bit. And pay no mind to that. Okay. So, this is how I'm recommending installing requests. And then, once you run that script, you should confirm you how do you spell confirm? Confirm you have requests installed, and do so by you're going to create a Python file, include import requests, and see if it explodes. So let's go ahead and do that. My file will look something like this. And then I'm just going to print out whatever requests is. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we'll do another one. Import requests, print requests. We'll save that as rec.py, because you're supposed to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah? Okay, I'll add a comment, because that was funny. Check yourself before. I'm going to spell it out. Wreck yourself. Okay. Oh, would you look at that? The module requests from user Python 3 so I have it. I have it successfully. And at this point in time, we are going to stop and make sure everyone has requests. So, this one?
Yes.
Of course. You can also just type pip install requests and it might work. In my case, it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to walk around and we're all going to be in big trouble if we don't have requests, okay? And by we be in big trouble, I mean I was told you have to use this in your sections today. Last night. Okay. Do you have requests? What have you tried so far?
Oh, I've done.
Oh, okay.
I was just following along. Normally I do it later.
Okay, you have to do it now.
Can I ask you though, why am I not,
Sure.
install the PC, does it work? When I install it, I got this,
Okay.
it's like it's pretty easier.
Did it work? Excuse me, maybe it worked. Did this work?
Yeah, that's,
Run off, show me.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so do I need to worry about that?
You don't need to worry about it.
Oh, you're great.
Okay, do you have it? Okay, do you really? Are you just saying
Yes,
that?
no,
You're trying to
I
everything?
can, no, I can't.
Okay.
Here it is. Do you want to see?
Mostly I can't see your screen, so I'm just
Never mind.
making sure.
There it is.
It took a second.
Okay, I'm willing to believe you. If you have it, are you stuck? Can you help each other? Thank you. All right, there you go.
Oh.
I just typed it in.
Not stuck in it. So.
Okay, you have to do it over the second.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I just made it back.
Thank you.
Just type it back in there.
You have it. Spell request, yeah. What did you give me? Okay. Did it work for you? Did you import requests successfully?
Do we do import request on this or in a different?
I did it in a different one, so I have installed .py, rack.py.
Seems to work
Can you run that file? I think it looks like you rec.py. It looks like it's working. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Can you mouse over it? Oh, that's plus. Oh, I think that's, maybe it's what was happening. Okay. Yeah, can you print requests?
He just
Okay. Or did you like one?
ask you.
That looks okay. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I don't really love that. But I don't think
Where's
it's
your second file?
Do you think these are for us?
It kept like opening like 5 documents and then I tried to shut them and then it would crash. So then I'd restart it. So okay. It's an old computer.
All right. Okay. I think we all installed requests. Okay. We are now moving on to the differences between a GET and POST request. And I'm going to call this a much shorter title. This is going to be GET versus POST. And fun fact, I've only ever used GETs, but I found this morning that there's this web page you can look at that explains the difference. And then you can also do GET versus POST Python requests. So we can do this as well. Specifically, we're going to use the requests tab. So I'm just going to put some links in this Markdown document, which I have every intention of publishing later. Here are some places to read more. We have G4G, differences between Git and Post. I create a hyperlink by using box brackets and then regular parentheses. You don't have to know that, but it is useful to know. Then we can also do Geeks for Geeks. What is this called? This is Git Post Requests. Okay. And then lastly, we have the request library itself. Okay. So, what are we going to do? Let's do a sample request. Let's see if we can run this one. I'm going to try it, and we're going to see what happens. So, let's go ahead and do... I'm going to split my screen. I'm going to split my screen. Okay. I want to get VS Code. Okay. I'm going to close the preview for now. And I'm going to create yet another new Python file, which I'm probably going to remember how to do someday. New file, Python file. And this is going to be trying out requests. So I'm going to save it as trying.py. The first thing I'm going to do is not follow what this says, because this is already referring to requests. So that won't work if I try it, but I mean, we can try. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in VS Code. And I can just go ahead and run this and see what happens. And I get the error name requests is not defined. That would be the same thing as if I tried to say like gwindow or something before it's defined. So in order to define requests, I'm going to import requests. And this is one way to get the name requests, and we see everything changes. Some of you had squiggles under request. That's probably because we are installing requests in a way other than how it is expected to be installed by VS Code. I'm also wondering if you close VS Code and open it again, if that problem will go away, or if it matters. We can go ahead and try this and see, oh, we're successfully trying something. What did we do? We don't know. Let's go ahead and print R, and we'll see something relatively simple, which is that we've got a response back. Now, responses on their own are not particularly interesting, but that response does come with a number. And so coming with a number is itself interesting in its own way. And we can probably inspect this a little bit more. Over here, we have r.status code, so we're going to go ahead and print r.status code. And when we have a 401 response, the status code is 401. I suspect what's happening is that this is, so if you all heard of like a 404 error, maybe that's a famous one, so like a resource not found. I believe what we're trying to do here is we're trying to log into GitHub with the authentication user and pass, which of course is not valid, so we're getting an error of some kind. That's not too exciting, but there might be other things we can successfully get. For example, I have a favorite web page I really like. Oh, let's get an image of Calvin. Isn't this fun? Okay. Maybe we can just get this image. I should keep both of these. Okay. R equals requests dot get. I did a comma, so I'm changing that to a dot get. And I just selected one of my favorite images on the internet, myself. I don't know if you've ever heard of the story of Narcissus. That was actually about me. That's a fun fact. When we do this, it is a successful request, so we get a different number. We get 200. 200 is a nice number. It's a number that is consistent with success. We can look at some other things. We can look at the headers. Print. What have I done? Okay. Oh, that's none of these are the things I'm meaning to do. Okay. We can print our dot headers. I'm actually going to print the headers themselves before I look inside of it and get the content type. So we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, and we get a lot of information. But, hear me out. That's just JSON, right? I'm going to copy this. I'm once again going to open a new file. And this time it's going to be something.json. And I think when I put this in here as JSON, it's perhaps going to be well formatted. Maybe not. How close are we? Do we think this is JSON? I don't know. Is there a way to auto-format JSON and VS Code? Auto-format JSON VS Code. Let's see, Control-Shift-I. Control-Shift-I. Okay, that did something. I don't know what it did. We have a series of key-value pairs. I don't know why they're all red. Seems bad. And I don't know if any of this stuff is interesting, but there are some things that are probably going to start standing out to us here. We have a PNG image. This is an image. It ends in .png. The server is github.com. We have a GitHub URL. It was last modified Monday. That is true. My appearance last changed on Monday. It has been completely permanent since then. There's been no alterations to any aspect of my persona. That's all in one thing. See how there's a single quote there? That should have all been on one line. Access control, allow origin, that's a security thing. Security thing. I don't know what all this stuff is. But anyways, our example asks us to just look for the content type. So let's look at just the content type. When I want to look up the content type in some JSON file or some Python dictionary, I use boxy brackets, and then I put the name or the key for the value inside the boxy brackets. So I'm going to put content type inside, and this is a string, so it's inside quotes inside my boxy brackets, and we'll see I get image.png. We can probably find something other than an image.png. I'm just going to get rid of the PNG here. And then we're going to get something of the style HTML. And this HTML, that's just a typical website. So I can either get images, or I can get websites, or I can potentially get other things. Last time, I think we found helium.json. So we can get that as well, and that will probably come back as a JSON file. So there we have it. There's a variety of ways you can get information off the internet, basically. Okay. This browser is never correctly guessing what I want it to do, which is a little bit frustrating. Okay. So, what's the next thing we should look at? Let's change back to just looking at the course webpage. There we go. It's text HTML. I guess it would be nice to get something that is just text. Oh no, this is asking for JSON. Okay, so we'll go back to JSON. Let's see, application JSON char set UTF-8, application JSON character set UTF-8. What are the UTF-8 characters? That's a great question. Look it up. Okay. Basically, in the olden days, there were only Latin characters, and then people that didn't know Latin started using computers, and so now there's other characters as well. An example of a character that exists in a computer but not in Latin, is the heart emoji, which I actually don't know how to type on Linux. It's this little critter right here, that thing. Okay. We're going to close a bunch of tabs to get our focus back on. Okay. Let us look inside the encoding and see what that is. We're not going to be surprised, but we're going to take a look at it. It is UTF-8. I can use emojis, or kanji, or Arabic. And then we can also look at the text. There's a lot of text there. There is something that I would like us to do, which is I'm going to create a local variable called text. I'm going to set it equal to r.text, and I'm also going to print the type of text. And then I am also going to print the 0 of text. I'm going to look at the initial value of text. All of those things are going to work. But I don't only have to look at this as text. I can also look at it as JSON. So I'm just going to, I don't want to call it JSON. I'm going to call it JS is going to equal, we'll print r.json first. And it looks much the same, but in what manner does it look differently? It's not pretty printing. So when I take the output as JSON, this is printing out as a Python dictionary. Okay? So what am I going to do with that? I'm going to let JS equal r.json. I'm going to print the type of JS, and it's going to be a class dictionary. And then what am I going to do? If I try to print out the 0 of JSON, I'm going to get an error because there is not a key in my JSON of that name. Specifically, the valid symbols in this JSON are symbol, phase, group, period, and boiling point. So I can look up one of those things. And we're going to look up symbol. And it is helium. Okay, so when you get something with the requests library, it is going to have stuff in it. And that stuff in it is going to be either text or JSON, and you're going to have to ask for one or the other. I'm assuming you're going to do this in the lab. And then my quote is, when you get something off the internet with requests, there is going to be stuff in it. And the stuff could be JSON or text or an image. But you can ask the request by looking up values of keys in the Python dictionary that is returned by the request. Okay. And I'm going to render that. Oh, look, there's my quote. That's what I said. Okay? And I'll publish this on the internet somewhere someday, so you'll be able to see it. Probably not before your section. What time is the first section? Does anyone have one at like 1 o'clock? 2 o'clock?
1:40.
1:40? That is really soon. I'm sure we'll be fine. Okay. What else am I supposed to do? How do I add a payload to a post request? It's a great question. Okay. Where was it? If I just make a request, is that... Okay. We can also make a post request. I don't know where on the internet I can post things to, so this is where I was a little bit nervous. But I was pretty sure post to GitHub gists using API. I use this thing called GitHub Gists. Public Gists, is that gonna be it? Nope, that wasn't it. Do I have gists? There they are. gist.github.com/cdpublic. Okay. Please tell me I'm recording this. Okay, thank goodness. Okay. We will attempt to post a gist using a post request. This is what a gist is. And I'm going to provide the URL and also link the URL. Okay. So how am I going to do that? What did I type in to get this? Am I clever enough to do this? I can probably do this. Okay. So I have my gists over here. We'll see if we can get one to show up. I'm going to read this document. And then what was the name of that document? Create a gist. Okay. So, oh, here's an example. This looks very, very close. So this is JavaScript, but like it could be Python. Okay. So is this JSON? We're going to call this the payload. Is that what we're supposed to call it? Post.py. Okay. So we are how to add a payload to a post request. Okay, this is a post. It is a description, example of a gist. Public, false. Files appears to itself be a dictionary. And then the headers are going to be like that, I think. Does that seem right? It seems like there's no way this will work. Okay. Oh, wait, no, here's an example request. Why am I not using this? This is so long. How am I supposed to get this to work? Okay, I have no idea how to teach you post. See, like, you're supposed to be able to go to http://bin.org, but this isn't like a real thing. Wait, is it? Oh, no way. Wait, maybe I can do that. Anyways, there exists a way in Python to post things to the internet. I've never done it. It's probably really cool. I'm assuming in this section they're going to like have a server you're allowed to post to. I don't have one ready. There exists... Wait. I'm going to try and do an existential quantifier. So in LaTeX, any LaTeX appreciators?
Woo!
Math majors. Did you hear them over there? Okay. That's right. There exists a way to post things to the internet from Python. It will use requests.post. This is hard because there has to be a remote server willing to accept your request. This is harder than having a remote server that is just hosting a file. So I have a website that hosts files on it, but it does not listen to you. It just is. It's like a statue, right? And then there are other websites that are like interactive. So have any of you heard of google.com? Right? So sometimes when you type things into google.com, like I am a silly goose, right? When you type I am a silly goose into google.com and press enter, something different happens than if you typed in something else, right? It generated an AI API call, because of course everything does, right? I do not operate a search engine. I operate the course web page for my college colloquium, which has no interactivity at all whatsoever. It is immobile and unchanging. And that's pretty cool. How to check the return status of your request. We actually did this already. This one is easy. I'm going to change this over to okay. How'd we do that? Status code. Boom. Print r.status code. Okay, easy peasy. How to convert a returned request to JSON to extract the various returned keys. This one's super duper easy as well. This one is super easy as well. Cool. All right. I think it's time to go a little crazy. What do you think? Does anyone want to go crazy style? So it's well known that I am evil, right? One of the evil things you can do is you can take the Python in your Markdown files and you can get it to run using our most beloved Quarto Markdown. And now at this point in time, the 2 students in this class that know what it is are going to groan loudly. Yeah, right. Everyone hates Quarto. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this file, and I'm going to make a copy of requests.md. Are any of you in... Yeah, some of you are in Data 151, and they use R Markdown over there, right? And I'm going to make requests.qmd. And this file is going to basically look similar, right? It's the same content. But what's that little Q mean? Well, see this little thing that showed up here? This little blue thing with 4 marks? That's the sign that this Markdown document has better vibes than the other one, okay? I think we're all familiar with vibes, right? And so I can still preview this, but I can also render it. And what's happening here is I actually created a local website that's hosted, there's a server hosted on my computer, and it's actually displaying as a web page the content I created. So I made this website, right? You can't see it yet, but you will someday. We'll note there's some things that aren't great, so that's not showing up properly for some reason. Probably because someone hit a silly goose angle there. I don't know why that one doesn't work. Comparing. And let's see what happens if I refresh this. Does it change and update and grow and change? I don't know. We can re-render. Is this going to fix? Yeah, so for some reason that's broken, and that's not my fault. I'm not responsible for that. So the other thing you can do, I keep adjusting my glasses and they're not on my face. Like I have stabbed myself in the eye so many times today. Never wear contacts. Okay, you can wear contacts. It's fine. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be taking out my anger on contacts, right? I can turn this into executable code. by changing the py to Python, you can only do this in Quarter Markdown, which, by the way, you don't have installed on your computer. I'm just showing it to you because I think it's cool as hell, right? Sometimes you just got to do stuff because it's awesome, right? And now when I run this, it's going to start Python, and it's going to run the code in the code blocks. And it's going to show the output, which says, you can't do that, you silly goose. What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? And then this one's going to work because I changed it. So we're going to change this one to not run. We're going to change this one to run. Let's see, we want this one to run. Python. You can also put in the name of a file here. So I'm going to call mine file name install.py. I'm just going to keep rendering this while I edit it over. Let's see. Let's do a lengthy example. Now, so when I was doing this previously, right, I was changing things sort of one at a time. I don't actually have to do that in Quarto Markdown. I can make a different block for each thing I'm doing. So I can import requests. And I guess I already imported a request, so I don't have to do that. We can take a look at this request. And we're going to just look at R. And that R, when I just show it there, it's going to show up how it would print out at the command line. So let's take a look at this. I don't know how Professor Jed Rumble is going to feel about me teaching you Quarto, not really, instead of Post. So just be cool about it, okay? I have requests installed. Look, I get a response 401. Okay, and so now let's do another one. We're going to get this request, and we're going to look at R. We're going to look at the status code. Now, I don't have to print this anymore because it's going to show up the same way it would show up at the command line, and that's much closer to the original way we were looking at this over here, right? This is all pretending you're at the command line. This is all pretending you're at the command line. So where we say R status code and then 200 shows up, I'm going to get the same thing inside my Quarto Markdown, okay? Probably. Did I redo it? I don't know. We'll see.
It's not a Python.
Oh, it's not a Python? Oh, this one?
Yeah.
You can never trust me. Okay. Why did pretend you didn't see that? That's confusing. I don't want to explain it. Okay. I mean, everything today is confusing. That's not true. Today is easy to understand. I promise it's easy to understand. I wouldn't lie to you. I have never told a lie in my life. I don't even know what lies are. Let's get some of this working. We'll print out our text. Actually, how I'm going to do this is I am going to do the 3 prints. Print text. Okay. Python. And then we can do the same thing with JSON. Print JS. Okay. I think we've succeeded. I think we're all geniuses. Let's rebuild this, and then we'll look at the website, and then I'll post this on the internet somewhere, and you can look at it later. Okay. This is what we did today. We learned about the requests package, and we have a little document. I'm not really going to ask you if you have any questions, because it would be crazy if you don't, but I can't answer any of them. I'm really proud of all of you for installing the requests library today. I'm sorry I don't know how to teach you about the post feature of the requests library. It's because I don't have my own web server. Did I think about starting up a web server in class and then using that? I did. I did think about that. So I want you to know that just for you all, I did not start a web server in class. Well, okay, that's not true. This is currently on a web server. Hold on. It's requests.get, right? Wait, so I can see the response from my web server? Hold on. Is that? This is the text that makes up this web page. It's the same thing, folks. You can go to the end and you can see it. So all I have to do is figure out how to post something to my Quarto server, which I don't know how to do, but it's probably possible. Well, I don't know what it's doing. Okay. How's Adventure going? Have you all started? Okay. That's what I like to hear. Okay. Oh, I looked at your midterms. Did y'all see that? They're like pretty good. I don't really have any expectations going in because I didn't have like a great idea. So I think you did fine. You already did that. Do any of you need an advisor? Wait, what? Yeah, you click. It takes you to the advising website. There's like a 3-year plan. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is what I think you should all do. Specifically, I think you should do this and major in math. Here's the problem. The math major is a BA, and this is a BS, and it's like now suddenly, out of nowhere, extremely dramatic to double major in a BA and a BS. And I haven't figured it out yet, so I can't tell you what to do. But believe me, I will get to the bottom of this in the fullness of time.
What's wrong with double major and BA and BS?
So, I thought nothing. Some folks have mad beef with students getting 2 degrees for doing one degree of work. And I thought the degree you were getting was an undergraduate degree, and that was fine. So anyways, now you need 156 credits to get both, and that's more than an extra year of school.
Is that gonna happen to me?
What are you majoring in?
Spanish and environmental science.
I don't know. You should talk to your advisors. You also might be grandparented in. Yeah, this is the advising website. This is the real CS degree. Here's the other CS degree. And then here's me. It's me, Calvin. Okay. I talked to, do you remember when I drew on the board the general education requirements and I was like, there's 3 dimensions, right? Okay. Let's see. Okay. So we for real have not even done milestone 0 on Adventure.
I did 0, just not anything else.
Okay. Has anyone else done 1?
No. Shout out me.
I actually opened it up.
Yeah, shout out you.
I read the instructions for the whole project.
Okay, I'm fine.
All milestones?
All right,
or just
okay.
Yeah, I really
Here's the
wanted
deal.
whole thing before.
Here's the deal. There's 2 minutes left in class. I'm going to let you out 2 minutes early so you have time to start Adventure, okay? Just do the assignment. Okay. Tell your section leaders I'm sorry about post. I'll let